You know, if I were a betting man, I would put at least a little bit of money into the prediction that our average list price here in Utah has seen its last showing above 700K, and that from here on out we will see a creeping slow descent down for the next 2 quarters. Let's look at why with the numbers and their nuance. How's it going? I'm Christopher McGee. I'm the owner of Halcyon Real Estate. I'm with the Keller Williams Market Center in Salt Lake City, Utah. Today is the 16th of October, and this is the numbers and the nuance. This is where you come every week to get localized and real-time data, raw data right off the MLS. It's not quarterly data and it's not federal data because that would be too late and too broad a field of information for you to understand our market right here, right now. So we'll jump right into what this last week showed us and why I made the prediction I just did. But right before I do, just know that if you want a more detailed understanding of what each of these numbers that I go over means and what it looks like when it's up or down, whether that's in favor of buyer or seller, you can just look at my real estate numbers explained video up at the top right of your screen right now. You should be able to click on that and get solid on all of it. Let's look at last week's numbers. All right, our inventory, when I looked at it just minutes ago, sat at 9,594, which is up from the previous week, and it is trending up. Our average days on market came to 48, which is just down by 1 day from the previous week, and this is still traveling up. Now, our average list price this prior week came to $708,258, which is up from the previous week, and we see this trending up to this point. But our average sold price came to $686,910, which means the difference between average list and average sold came to $21,348, which is down from the previous week. And with that whiplash back deep into the negative, this is now trending down again. This data set is now trending down. Our number of homes sold the prior week came to 452, which is down from the previous week, and this is trending a bit down as we can see. Our number of properties currently under contract comes to 4,311, which is down from the previous week, and that is trending down. Our price reductions came to the fun number of 1,111, which is up from the previous week, of course, and we can still see this obviously trending up. And finally, the number of listing contracts that were either canceled, expired, or withdrawn in this previous week came to 346, which is up a bit from the previous week, and we can see this number also trending up. All right, let's look at the nuance here. All right, so I made a prediction at the beginning of this video saying that I think this week marks the last time in the next 2 quarters that we will see list price averaging at above 700K. By the way, if you didn't know that we were averaging above 700K, it has happened 3 or 4 times in the last quarter. And where it hasn't bumped over 700K, it's been in the high 600Ks. That's where we've been for average list price. Average sold price on average has been under that by about $9,000 to $10,000. So not dramatically, but still in the buyer's favor across the board with one exception in the last 2 or 3 quarters. Now here are the 3 reasons why I make this prediction. 1, it makes sense seasonally. We're going into the middle of October now. We're getting solidly into colder weather. We're headed towards the holidays and kids are in school, and so there's just fewer people who want to be prioritizing making a move right now. And of course, with fewer people wanting to buy, that puts those few people who are wanting to buy right now in a space of less competition, which of course is one of the factors I talk about often that pushes things in our market in favor of buyers. Which brings me to point number 2, which is we've been watching most metrics of the market with the exception of interest rate, which I don't usually talk about here because it's not a number that's sitting on the MLS, and the list price data itself. Every other metric has been pushing with the pressure downward in favor of the buyers for the last solid quarter. List price and sold price data are simply going to be the last 2 bits of data in the list of data points that I bring up here that's going to turn around in favor of the buyer. Once everything else is pushed in favor of the buyer for long enough and finally prices will actually relent and say, fine, we won't charge as much for homes anymore. And the third and final reason that I'm making this prediction right now is because this week when our list price peaked its head over 700K again, the actual sold price came in at over $20,000 less than that average list price, which reads as buyers slapping down sellers for having the audacity for listing their homes on average at over 700K at this point. All right, it's all three of these data points together that caused me to have the confidence to make a prediction like this. If any one of these data points were missing, I wouldn't have the confidence to even voice the idea. And real estate is a people thing and an economy thing, and there are things about that that are predictable and there are things about that that are not so predictable. So I may still be wrong, but I'm confident enough to say that if I were a betting man, I would put money on this being the highest point of average ask price and average sold price for the next 2 quarters until the spring of 2024. I think prices will be creeping down from here. All right, thanks for watching. If you or anybody you know is thinking to move, sell their home, downsize, buy a home because they're in a position to do so, even in this wild market, I hope you'll think of me because I'll be happy to help. And I know this market like the back of my hand, and I love representing you and being on your team and honoring my fiduciary duties to my clients. And of course, if you'd like to stay updated on Utah's real estate market with real-time raw data from the MLS that's not quarterly and not federal, but it's here and now, there's not gonna be a better way than to hit that subscribe button and stay solid on this education with me from week to week. I'll see you every Monday. See you next week, guys. Thanks for watching.